Today's lesson is on using quotation marks, underlining, and italicizing in titles. Before I start reviewing the rules of when to add quotation marks or to underline or to use italics, I want to remind you that you need to use capitals. So you need to capitalize all major words in a title. That's a separate lesson that we've already gone over, but it's one we need a little bit of a refresher on. So any major words, you don't have to do all the little words like the, is, unless it's the first word of the title, but you need to make sure that you are capitalizing all of the main words. Quotation marks are used for short stories, poems, essays, magazine or newspaper articles, chapters, television episodes, and songs. So I'll give you an example of each one. So for the short story, you could have a secret for two. Notice that the first word is capitalized, secret is capitalized, and two is capitalized. For is the only word in here that is not capitalized. If you look at this list, there's very few words that aren't capitalized. So fingerprints, capitalized. The respiratory system, capitalized. The, if it was in the middle, wouldn't need to be, but it's the first word, so it does. Facts on Comet Halley. On is the only word not capitalized in this title. Flight from danger. From isn't capitalized. The wonder of you. And oh Canada. There are only 4 words in this whole set of examples that do not start with a capital letter. Underlining and italicizing are both used for the same types of things, but underlining is used when you're writing by hand, and italicizing is used when you are typing. So italicizing is that like little slanty eye that makes things look a little bit more at an angle than when you are typing normally. Whereas quotation marks are typically used for shorter pieces, like a short story versus a book, underlining and italics are used for books, newspapers, and magazines. So instead of just the article, the whole newspaper or magazine. For movies, television series, so not just the episode, the play, a work of art, or a long musical composition. So instead of just like a song, this would be a longer piece. I have given you all of these examples in hand, like writing by hand. Your CS book will give them to you in typeface, so you'll see that they're italicized, but I wanted to go through this because there's a few places where not all of the words are italicized or underlined. So the title of the book, Of Things Not Seen, the whole thing is underlined. For the newspaper, the Edmonton Journal, the title of the newspaper is Edmonton Journal, but you usually say the in front of it, which is why it is lowercase and is not underlined. People magazine, Matrix Reloaded, CSI Miami, The Hitchhiker. Now for the work of art, Michelangelo's David, the title of the piece is David, but we usually refer to the artist as well. So we would say Michelangelo's David, but the title is just David. Same thing with Wagner's The Ring. The song itself is just called The Ring, but we always give attribution to the composer as well. So we would say Wagner's The Ring, but he would not be underlined because he's not part of the title. For this exercise, they're going to give you 10 sentences, and your job is to add quotation marks and underlining where necessary. So I'm just going to do the first example with you. The book, How Things Work, should be helpful for writing my report. So basically you just need to look for, okay, where is the title here? Well, the title is How Things Work. Now we won't actually underline this right now necessarily, but we have to think, what is How Things Work? Well, How Things Work is a book. So what do we do with books? Well, books are in our list of underlining or italicizing. So if you were to write this by hand, you would go through and make sure that you underlined How Things Work. And if you were typing this, then you would put it in italics. So the book How Things Work should be helpful for writing my report. Once you have finished all 10 sentences, there will be a Google form in this assignment for you to complete to show that you understand. And if you need help, feel free to let me know.